Good afternoon. My name is John Justice. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Hoskin, Farina & Camp at 200 Grand Avenue, Suite 400, Grand Junction, Colorado, 81502. I'm here representing La Plata Communities and its subsidiary, Redlands 360 LLC, a Colorado limited liability company. As you are aware from the staff's presentation, as part of the development of the Redlands 360 planned development and Canyon Rim 360 subdivision, Redlands 360 proposes to use metropolitan districts to finance the construction of certain necessary public improvements. Accordingly, we are here for the city's statutorily required review of the consolidated service plan for the proposed Redlands 360 metropolitan district numbers 1 through 9. Before we begin the discussion regarding review of the service plan for the metro districts, I'd like to make absolutely clear that this is not a land use or zoning approval vesting rights to develop or proceed with the project. The city will separately address any development in the planned development zone review process. Now turning again to the service plan. Before a special district may be created, they are required to submit a service plan to either the appropriate municipality or county that outlines the services that the district, or districts in this case, will provide and the limits of the district's powers to provide such services. The service plan also provides a financial plan for the procurement of land, facilities, and financing that may be necessary to provide the district services outlined in the service plan. Review and confirmation that the service plan for the 9 proposed Title 32 districts will require the city determine, 1, there will in fact be a need for the public improvements to be provided that will not be met by the city or other districts, and 2, the districts can economically provide those improvements and subsequently bear the financial burden of doing so. Although frequently used on the Front Range of Colorado in association with large-scale development, the Grand Valley, and particularly Grand Junction, has seen relatively limited use of Title 32 metropolitan districts. So for the benefit of the Planning Commission and Council, provide a little bit of background of what a Title 32 metropolitan district is. Effectively, special districts in Colorado are local governments authorized by statute. They make up a third level of government effectively. The federal and state governments being the other 2 levels. However, local governments generally include counties, municipalities, school districts, and other types of governmental entities such as authorities and special districts. Special districts include metropolitan districts or single-purpose type districts like water and sanitation, parks and rec, or water conservancy districts. Effectively, special districts are created to provide services that residents may desire as a result of not residing within a municipality or residing within a municipality which doesn't either provide a desired service or provide such service at the level desired by those residents. While historically the majority of special districts draw their boundaries in unincorporated county land, increasingly and associated with development within municipalities, residents within a municipality may be included in 1 or more districts. These districts often provide a greater amount of service than the municipality or county is otherwise able or willing to provide to that area. Further, districts are often used to help municipalities implement their comprehensive plans. However, the most important function is to provide a method for financing construction of public infrastructure that's necessary for the natural development within the community, period. The result of utilizing metro districts is that frequently higher quality infrastructure and public improvements can be engineered and constructed and coordinated with the city's operations and comprehensive plan. There are many types of single-purpose special districts that may be organized under Title 32 of state statute, mostly providing municipal-type services such as ambulance, fire protection, water, sanitary sewer, health, and park and recreation type services. However, metropolitan districts, also formed under Title 32, may provide multiple services such as street construction and improvements, recreation, mosquito control, television relay and translation, transportation, flood control, and traffic-related safety enhancements. What we are talking about today is not a single-purpose type district, but a metropolitan district providing two or more statutorily permitted services. Perhaps most important, and why they are utilized so frequently when paired with development, are the financial powers of Title 32 districts. Such districts have the authority to tax and assess fees for various services they provide, and to issue municipal bonds to help pay for the public improvements required to provide those services. At the same time, like other governmental bodies, they are publicly accountable, which means they must comply with Colorado's open meetings laws, as well as the Open Records Act. Furthermore, governance of special districts is subject to accountability to the electors through an elections process. However, continuing on with the critical aspect of special districts and their ability to finance public improvements, they do have the authority to issue municipal bonds to help finance public improvements within the community. Issuing bonds is a method of borrowing money which places the district in legal indebtedness. This debt can only be issued as a result of an election. Consistent with Tabor, the bonds are sold to investors who must be repaid over time with interest. Repayment on these bonds is usually 20 to 30 years and defined by the service plan. The district's annual payment on the debt is called debt service. The money is then used by the district to pay for the necessary infrastructure and public improvements for the development. When those bonds are sold to investors, the district makes a pledge to pay back the borrowed amount at an agreed upon interest rate. To pay this, the district has the legal authority to establish and collect property tax on the properties within its boundaries to the extent approved by a Tabor election in order to redeem the bonds. The district has other revenues available to make payments. It may use those instead of or as a supplement to the property tax. Because they can offer multiple services required for the development of vacant land, metropolitan districts are often established by developers to finance, through the issuance of municipal bonds, the infrastructure necessary to support a new subdivision. Items like streets, water, and sewer lines, and other utilities must be provided to the area, which prior to the subdivision's development was vacant land. After the infrastructure is in place, the developer of course plans on new homes and businesses being built or established within the district. New and ongoing development increases the assessed value of property within the district and provides the tax base necessary to generate the revenue required to make payments on bonds. Under current financing standards, bonds for districts will not issue until there is sufficient assessed value within the district. If development within a new district occurs as planned, the district's tax base should increase over time, and mill levies can decline and still generate tax revenue sufficient to meet the bond payments. Consistent with the foregoing model, La Plata Communities, acting through Redlands 360 LLC, as the nominal developer of the proposed Redlands 360 Planned Development and Canyon Rim 360 subdivision, is proposing to create the Redlands 360 Metropolitan Districts numbers 1 through 9 to finance, through the issuance of municipal bonds, the infrastructure necessary to support the development. That infrastructure will include public sanitary and sewer systems, domestic water supply systems, storm drainage facilities, streets and roadways, traffic and other safety facilities, landscaping, parks and recreation facilities, irrigation, and other such public improvements approved by the city for the development and constructed to the requirements of the city. Collectively, those improvements are referred to as public improvements throughout the remainder of this presentation. After construction, and in compliance with an intergovernmental agreement with the city required under the service plan, the public improvements will be transferred to the city of Grand Junction. Thereafter, the districts will continue to generate and collect revenue required to make payments on any outstanding municipal bonds. The city will have no obligation or liability for those outstanding payments. Before we continue, I think it would be necessary for you to begin to understand who La Plata Communities is and their track record in putting in place successful developments, including developments that utilize the Metro District model. With that, I'd like to introduce Doug Quimby, CEO of La Plata Communities.
Members of the Planning Commission, my name is Doug Quimby. I'm the president and principal owner of La Plata Communities, Inc. La Plata Communities is the manager and an owner of Redlands 360 LLC, which is the applicant requesting the approval of the Metropolitan District Service Plan that is before you tonight. Since this is the first major project in Grand Junction for La Plata Communities, I thought it would be helpful if you know something about our company. La Plata Communities is a Colorado Springs-based development company. It has been developing master plan communities in Colorado Springs since 1995. Communities include Briargate, which consists of 3 residential communities known as Cordera, Pine Creek, and North Fork, 2 business centers, the Briargate Business Campus and the Briargate Crossing area. Our other master plan is the farm, which includes a residential community and a business center known as the campus at Foothills Farm. La Plata is also the developer of a project in Fountain, Colorado, in the south part of the Colorado Springs metro area known as Gallivant, and the Redlands 360 property in Grand Junction. This map shows the locations of our projects in the Colorado Springs area. The North property is the one I referred to in the south part of the metro area. Of course, shows the location of the Redlands 360 project, which is about 600 acres out near the water tank, new water tank off of South Camp Road. Briargate is our largest project. This is a copy of the Briargate master plan. It's at the north end of Colorado Springs on I-25 across from the Air Force Academy. We acquired this property, as I said, in 1995. Included about 7,600 acres. It's almost finished now, a couple of years from being finished. It'll have approximately 30,000 residents and over 10,000 households, several schools, lots of community facilities and recreational facilities, two major commercial centers, Briargate Crossing and Briargate Business Campus, major retail, and over 100 miles of arterial streets. This is the Briargate Business Campus. It's the largest employment center in Colorado Springs. It includes over 4 million square feet of office space, way bigger than downtown. This is some of the imagery, some artwork, sculpture of horses near the entrance, the sign, some of the natural amenities in the business park. These are some of the buildings constructed there. These are mostly office buildings. This is the one of the retail centers known as the Promenade Shops at Briargate. This is a lifestyle center, very successful center at Briargate Parkway and I-25. The other commercial center which we developed in Briargate is known as Briargate Crossing. It includes a major medical office and retail as well. This is UC Health Hospital. This picture up in the upper right is a fitness and recreation center, and some office buildings at Target stores, as you can see. These are apartments located in Briargate Crossing. Pine Creek is a single-family residential community. It was our first community, which we started in 1995 as part of Briargate. This is the plan for Pine Creek. As you can maybe tell from this plan, it was built around a golf course. All of that green area is open space and golf course. As I said, this is now finished. It includes about 2,400 residential units, as well as the golf course. These are some of the scenes of the golf course and home. These are images of the golf course and some of the homes in Pine Creek. More homes. So they're very nice architecturally, good use of materials. These are parks that were constructed, that we constructed in Briargate. These are all public parks. Cordera is one of our active communities in Briargate. Here's the plan. As you can see, the part on the west, on the left-hand side of the development, that's Briargate Crossing, or part of Briargate Crossing. The yellow area and the green area is Cordera. That's also a couple of years away from being finished. When it is done, it will have about 1,600 plus single-family detached homes, as well as apartments and other uses. All those green areas you see on there are parks that we constructed. They are public parks. This is the recreational center that we built in Cordera. This is a private facility for the residents of Cordera. These are pictures of some of the amenities at the some more images of Cordera. Upper right is a school. Lower left is into the cul-de-sac. You can see a trail that we built. Residents out jogging. More view of our trail system in Cordera. Another view of our trail system. You can see that underpass in the back. That allows our residents to go anywhere along the trail system in Cordera and never have to cross an arterial street. Again, more parks, public parks that we built in. And here are pictures of various homes in Cordera and neighborhoods. Again, a variety of architectural styles, colors, materials. North Fork at Briargate is the third residential community in the Briargate Master Plan. There is the plan. This is an entirely residential community. It's built right next to Pine Creek High School, a really large high school in School District 20. It's almost all single family, one townhome project. Again, some of the images of the homes in North Fork. This is just an unusual feature in this particular neighborhood. You can see that in the middle of that is a drawing of a central parkway. Those are traffic lanes on either side of that, the top and the bottom. In the middle is a functioning linear park that you can see pictures of at the top and bottom, and Pikes Peak in the background. And that's north. Our other master plan is the current master plan is the farm. This is also along I-25 in Colorado Springs, right across the highway from the Air Force Academy football stadium, if you're all familiar with that area. This is a picture of the master plan, or the plan for the farm. The yellow and green areas are single-family residential development. And there's a nice open space drainage corridor. And then on the south side, the gray, the purple, and the orange are multifamily and commercial uses. There's an entrance to the farm, signage that we constructed at the entryway. This map shows our amenities, parks, and trails. You can see there's an awful lot of green space, a lot of open space in this project. The red line is a linear trail that goes throughout the project, both on the commercial side and on the residential side. It connects a lot of parks, small parks, some of the images of which are on here, so you can take your bike or jog or walk all throughout the project, visit a bunch of parks, and enjoy a nice trail system. I should point out that there's some of the images of the farm. That's a pedestrian bridge we constructed, which crosses the Black Squirrel Creek, which runs through the property, connects the residential side to the commercial side. One of the parks, one of the linear parks that I talked about, with some views of the parks and trail. The upper left picture there is a mail kiosk where all the mailboxes for our residents are. These are pictures of the gathering place, which is our community center in the farm. It was constructed to be reminiscent of a barn that used to exist on the site. Here are more pictures of the community center, which is almost finished and will be opening as soon as the state lets us open. Views of the homes in the farm. And by the way, I should say that the public infrastructure in the farm is financed in part by Metro District financing, similar to what we're asking for here. We constructed about $30 million of improvements with the Metro District financing, including streets, some of the parks, water and sewer utilities, and drainage facilities, all using the Metro District financing method. This is a picture of Kent Federal Credit Union's headquarters, which is currently under construction. On the commercial side of the farm, this particular building is about 300,000 square feet. Eventually, their headquarters will include up to 1 million square feet of office space in the campus at Foothills. There are two other buildings being constructed in the farm. The bottom building is an office building that Plaza will be occupying, which it's done at the end of this year, along with one other tenant. And the top picture is a picture of a climbing gym that will be constructed within the campus at Foothills Farm. These are pictures. The bottom is an apartment complex that's being constructed, and the top is a high-density, single-family, detached residential project of detached townhomes. We call them. It's a very high-density product in the farm next to the apartment. Our other new project is down in Fountain, as I mentioned before. It's known as Gallivant. This is a picture of it. Again, you can see Pikes Peak in the background. This is what it looks like. We haven't started any work yet. We're in the early planning stages, but a year from now we'll be starting construction on this land. Gallivant's another master plan community. It's about 3,200 acres in size. It's 20-year build out, probably 7,500 residential units or more, 750 acres of commercial space. And again, we will use the Metro District financing method in this community. Again, this is a brand new community in Fountain, Colorado, south side of Colorado Springs. Which brings us to our newest community, Redlands 360, as a Grand Junction. Since Grand Junction is my hometown, I'm very excited to be able to do a project here. At least I hope we'll be able to do it. Here you can see a picture of the property, approximately 600 acres. Monuments in the background. You can see the water tank there as well. It's a fantastic piece of property, and we hope to create a great community here. Now I would like to turn things over to our Director of Planning for La Plata Communities, Cody Humphrey. Cody is going to talk about our vision for the property and how that fits with the metro districts that we are asking you to approve. Appreciate your attention. Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Doug. Hello, my name is Cody Humphrey, Director of Planning for La Plata Communities. Before I dive into the visioning aspect of the Redlands 360 community, I first would like to highlight some of the more important aspects of the project. Redlands 360 consists of 624 acres and will be developed with a spectrum of residential products and a variety of active and passive recreational opportunities. We estimate that the community will have approximately 1,666 residential lots at full build-out, 1,516 of which will be for-sale residential units and 154 rent multifamily units. There will also be just over 4 acres of commercial property. When visiting the site, one of the first things that stands out are the 360-degree views of the surrounding natural areas, including the Colorado National Monument, Grand Mesa, and the Book Cliffs. The property also has views down to the Redlands Mesa Golf Course due to its adjacency and is a short bike ride or drive away from the very popular Lunch Loop Trail system. The site itself is well positioned to be able to utilize existing city infrastructure adjacent to the property. Here, you can see several photos of the site that showcase the variety of landforms and unique characteristics found in the property. Drastic variations of topography, large boulders, and existing vegetation are just a few of the on-site attributes this project will look to preserve and enhance. The vision for Redlands 360 consists of 3 key elements, each playing a vital role in making this community a desirable place to live. The first is the views. The views from the property are genuinely amazing. One can have a view of the Book Cliffs, Grand Mesa, and the Colorado National Monument from multiple locations on site. The majority of the property's upper mesa also provides enough elevation to overlook the city of Grand Junction to see the city lights at night. These 360-degree views are an important aspect that will drive much of the planning and community design. They are also the reason for the name, Redlands 360. The second is the land. The majority of the land sits on an elevated mesa that generally slopes to the north. The site has 4 major plateaus, which we have coined the Four Brothers, a play off the name of the Three Sisters Park. The Four Brothers, along with existing natural features of the site, including the undulating topography, distinct drainage ways, and scattered vegetation, inspire the community planning to not only preserve as much of the character of the land, but enhance it in every opportunity we get. And finally, the amenities are the third element. The community will offer a variety of outdoor-focused amenities, both active and passive in nature. A multitude of public parks, open spaces, multi-use trail systems, enhanced landscaping, unique fencing and signage, and possibly community art are all elements of the amenity package envisioned for Redlands 360. For reference, here's a photo of the Four Brothers Plateaus. These four distinct landforms will be referred to later in this presentation. Because of the lay of the land is important when master planning any community, knowing where these plateaus are located on site, what they look like, and what they are capable of are all critical aspects to comprehending the reasoning behind the overall master plan. Before we dig into the concept master plan, the development team would like to share the design drivers behind the Redlands 360 community. Design drivers are significant to projects like this to help guide decision-making throughout the life of the development. The first design driver is create a master plan community that focuses on promoting a pedestrian-oriented atmosphere, an inclusive culture, and an outdoor lifestyle unmatched by any community within Grand Junction. The second states, commit to putting the pedestrian first, where uninterrupted open space and a variety of trail types offer a safe alternative means of transportation for the residents throughout the entirety of the community. The third design driver states, celebrate the amazing 360-degree vistas, unique landforms such as the Four Brothers, and the social trail network found on the site through a conscious effort of preservation. The fourth design driver states, offer a variety of amenities specifically geared toward getting residents and families to be outdoors and active within the community. The fifth states, provide a mix of housing product and architectural styles that establish a unique community character at a variety of price points. And finally, the last design driver states, provide enhanced community landscaping that is water conserving, xeric in nature, and appropriately fits the existing geography of the Colorado Plateau. Here we see a black and white version of the overall master plan. However, what I really want to communicate with this slide is a simplified understanding of the community master plan through this concept diagram. The plan itself is bisected by two large open space swaths, splitting the site into four distinct quadrants or neighborhoods. The open space swaths preserve natural features such as the Four Brothers, existing vegetation, and drainage ways. In doing so, important parts of the existing land character are being preserved. Overall, there are 6 defined neighborhoods, each with a unique set of attributes that are interconnected through trails and open space. Providing a simple but effective road system allows for easy vehicular access throughout the community. This road system has been designed to minimize intersections with large open space swaths, creating a safe and inviting experience for all users. After seeing the concept diagram, here's a more detailed look at the conceptual master plan. This plan shows the general parcel sizes of the single-family product segmentation in the turquoise color. Within these parcels will be a mix of single-family housing segments with a variety of densities, ranging from patio home product on the higher end of the density range to large lot custom homes on the low end of the density range. Consideration of where multifamily housing could possibly be located are also identified on the plan in the purple. A small parcel of commercial has also been considered in the upper northwestern portion of the site. All the white areas within the overall boundary and between the development parcels is considered open space. This parks and open space graphic re-emphasizes the amount of open space and parks being proposed for the community. 5 park nodes along with 7 trailheads have been planned as part of the overall concept master plan. A bike park is also being considered. And again, you can see the location of the preserved Four Brothers Plateaus and their cross-access connection through the open space. The attached images are just a sample of the type of public amenities that are planned for Redlands 360. A miniature incline similar to the famous one in Manitou Springs is being proposed to take advantage of the hillside slope of the Four Brothers. Trailhead facilities will provide residents and pedestrians easy access to the parks and open space. The community is also considering the use of art in strategic public locations to enhance one's experience of the community and add placemaking value. Public, active, and passive park spaces will also be considered in the 5 park nodes. Complementing the parks and open space is an elaborate proposed trail system with a variety of trail types. As can be seen on this map, 6 different types of trails are being proposed. They vary from the preservation of several existing single-track trails already on site to an 8-foot wide hard surface community trail that provides users an opportunity to connect to the different parks and neighborhoods. The goal of this effort is to not only provide the residents of this community a variety of outdoor amenities, but to continue to welcome the public into the community with access to the vast amounts of trails and preserved open space. The images on this slide represent the variety of different trail options that will be offered at Redlands 360, including single track, soft surface, and hard surface trails. Signage will also play an important role in wayfinding throughout the community. Fencing and monumentation are very important in establishing the character of a community. Redlands 360 plans to have a variety of fencing and wall types that will fit a style suitable for the high desert Colorado Plateau geography. On this graphic, you can see that the use of certain types of higher-end fencing and walls will be strategically placed at gateways and entries to get the most value of their use. The 4 different types of fencing we are proposing are the following. A modern take on the rustic zigzag fence, often found on desert ranches. The nod to this fence's distinct form recognizes the history of the fence, but puts a contemporary twist to the materials used to build it. This fence is known for its use on rocky terrain, since no post holes are needed to build it, and it's easy to install. The second type of fence is the gabion wall. These types of walls have become more popular in recent years because of their rustic appeal and simplicity to build. Rocks dug up from on-site are typically used to build these walls. Again, the wall does not need a footer, which makes it ideal for the use in rocky terrain. The common wall is the third type of fence that would be used to designate the boundary between home lots and community tracts and open space. This opaque wall provides a certain level of privacy for home buyers, as well as signifies special places within the community, such as entry points. And finally, the community fence, similar to the common wall, would be installed along lot lines where homes live out to community open space. A more transparent fence of this nature allows for the feel of the open space to extend into homeowners' yards, making open space swaths feel larger and more inviting. Circling back to the conceptual master plan, this graphic offers a segue into the discussion about the overall density of the plan and how the 1,666 total units are derived. Again, you can see in this graphic that a majority of the housing product is single-family homes with some larger pockets of multifamily housing. The estimated density for the community is an important component in understanding the Metropolitan District financial plan. As communicated earlier, Redlands 360 is broken into 6 neighborhoods that equate to 5 different quadrants. In this case, Canyon Rim 360 and the South Camp entry parcel are combined in this exercise. Each quadrant is listed as a line item in the table below. The densities were analyzed at a high level during the master planning process. The residential segmentation is a mix of single-family lots, patio homes, and multifamily housing options. The following chart shows a breakdown of how the total project units equates to the 1,666 units. In order to determine the number of districts and their relative sizes, a phasing plan of the entire project needed to be created. The phasing plan was determined by a strategic approach toward how to best develop the community over the next 25 years based on real estate trends, housing segmentation, and absorption rates. Overall, there are 8 different phases for the entire community of Redlands 360. From the phasing plan, a district map comprised of 9 different districts was created. Several of the districts are split into multiple locations. Again, this was determined based on the development phasing plan, where multiple phases may be going on concurrently in different locations of the community. The sizes and locations of districts 1 through 9 will be ultimately determined based on local market real estate trends. Initially, the project property will be annexed into the 9 districts. The final designation of the property to be annexed into districts will depend on local real estate market conditions, the construction of public improvements, and the rate of sale of residential and commercial uses. Here is the district map overlaid on top of the conceptual master plan. This graphic shows where the districts are in relationship to the housing segmentation and densities being proposed for the site. In summary, by embracing the views, preserving large portions of the existing land as open space, and providing a variety of amenities, Redlands 360 will be unlike any other community within the city of Grand Junction. Now I'd like to pass the presentation back to John Justice, who will be speaking about the technical process of the Metropolitan District formation. Thank you.
As you just heard, La Plata Communities has a grand vision for the Redlands 360 development. At some point, though, you have to move from vision to charting a path forward. In this case, charting a path forward requires the use of metropolitan districts, specifically the proposed Redlands 360 metropolitan districts articulated in the proposed service plan. As the project moves forward in phases, with each phase there will be an associated metropolitan district that will be formed to facilitate the financing of public improvements within that phase. To the extent that there are public improvements that benefit all or multiple districts, it's anticipated that a master IGA will be entered into among all the districts to equitably distribute those burdens across the development. Before a metropolitan district can be formed, there is a technical process outlined in statute that must be completed. The first step in that process is the submission of a service plan compliant with statute to the municipality within which the Metro District will be located. The municipality reviews the service plan to determine whether it satisfies certain criteria set forth in statute. This includes the inclusion of certain information, as well as an independent evaluation as to whether or not the services are required within the proposed area of the development, and whether or not the Metro District can feasibly provide those services in a financially sustainable way. Again, I reiterate, this is not a land use approval for the development only approval of the proposed service plan for the districts if they are formed. If the Metropolitan District Service Plan is approved by the municipality, proponents may move forward with a petition for organization of the district court in the applicable county. Subsequently, there would be a hearing. If the court finds the petition satisfies certain statutory requirements, the petitioners may move forward with an organizational election, whereby eligible electors may vote for or against the formation of the district. Redlands 360 has taken the first step in Metro District formation by submission of a service plan for the 9 Metro districts to the City of Grand Junction. It's a complete Metro District service plan, and a copy should have been included in your packet. A review of that plan will find that each of the statutory requirements on the information required are satisfied. Those requirements are specifically set out at Section 202, subsection 2 of Title 32, Article 1. First is the description of the proposed services. That's found in Section 1A of the proposed service plan, effectively pages 2 and 3. Primary purpose is to construct public improvements, including public sanitary, sewer, and wastewater systems, domestic water supply systems, storm drainage facilities, streets and roadways, traffic and safety facilities, landscaping, parks and recreation, and other public improvements on plans approved by the city for the development of the project. The second requirement is that there be a financial plan showing how proposed services are to be financed, including the proposed operating revenue derived from property taxes for the first budget year of the district. All proposed indebtedness for the district shall be displayed together with a schedule indicating the year or years in which the debt is scheduled to be issued. A comprehensive financial plan is attached as Exhibit F to the proposed service plan. Further, there's a description of the financial plan within the service plan on a more general basis. The next requirement is a preliminary engineering or architectural survey showing how the proposed services are to be provided. Here, those surveys are included with the service plan as exhibits G1 through G5. You've already seen a few of those in the general presentation showing the vision. However, we believe those satisfy the requirement under statute. And next is a map of the proposed special district boundaries and an estimate of the population and valuation for assessment of the proposed special district. A map of the proposed special district was included as Exhibit A, and the boundaries of the individual districts are shown in Exhibits A2 through A4. Article 2, subsection A1, which is found at page 9, projects that the population at build-out is estimated to be approximately 3,800 persons based on the average number of persons of 2.29 per household in Grand Junction. At page 8, Article 1E, current valuations of property within the district are provided, as well as the current estimated annual assessment for the first year's operating budget. The financing plan addresses valuation of assessments for properties after improvements and, of course, finds those to be significantly higher. Other information required to be included in the service plan include a general description of the facilities to be constructed and the standards of such construction, including a statement how the facility and service standards of the proposed districts are compatible with the facility and service standards of either the City of Grand Junction or Mesa County. The service plan is explicit at page 2, which is section 1A, regarding the facilities to be constructed, and states that those are to be designed and constructed in accordance with development plans approved by the City of Grand Junction. In short, the city has final say regarding those facilities and service standards. Next, the service plan is required to include a general description of the estimated cost of acquiring land, engineering services, legal services, administrative service, initial proposed indebtedness, and estimated proposed maximum interest rates and discounts and other major expenses related to organization and initial operation of the districts. Here, the general description of costs are provided in Article 3 of the service plan, along with major expenses. Initial operating costs are identified in Article 3 in subsection H. Further, Exhibit F, the financial plan, goes into extensive detail on these matters. The final bit of required information is a description of any arrangement of proposed agreement with any political subdivision for the performance of any services between the proposed special district or districts and any other political subdivision. And if the form of contract is available, it should be attached to the service plan. At this time, the only intergovernmental agreement contemplated is with the City of Grand Junction. A copy of the IGA with the city, setting forth the various obligations recited in the service plan, including the requirement to convey to the city various public improvements, is attached, again as Exhibit E. After the city has determined that the informational requirements of the statute for the service plan have been satisfied, there are 4 more requirements set forth in Section 203. These are independent, and each of the 4 requirements must be satisfied. If they are not, the city is required to reject the service plan. We will go through each of the 4 requirements in order and address why we believe they are satisfied. The first requirement is that there must be sufficient existing or projected need for organized service in the area to be serviced by the proposed special districts. Here, contingent on plan development zoning for the project, there will be sufficient need for service within the area to be serviced by the proposed special districts. Second, the existing service in the area to be served by the proposed special districts is inadequate for the present and projected needs. Here, this requirement is plainly satisfied. The city does not provide any of the services proposed by the service plan to the area to be developed by the project. And none of the proposed services are provided by any other governmental entity at this time, nor do they intend to. So the second mandatory requirement is satisfied. The last 2 requirements are largely informed by the financial plan submitted with the service plan. Those requirements are: 1, the proposed special districts are capable of providing economical and sufficient service to the area within their proposed boundaries. The second is, the area to be included in the proposed special districts has or will have the financial ability to discharge the proposed indebtedness on a reasonable basis. Because those are both effectively addressed by the financial plan, I'd like to turn the presentation over now to Tom Wendland, La Plata's financial consultant on this project. Thank you.
Thank you, John. This is Tom Wendelin with RBC Capital Markets, acting as financial consultant to the district in preparation of the service plan and future bond issuances. Our role in this has been to review the information that's been provided to us by the development team to create a financial model for the districts to issue debt into the future. As we'll provide in the next 2 slides, it's our determination that based on the information that's been provided to us, that the district has the ability to reasonably discharge its debt as required within the service plan. Within our financial model, we have the district imposing a mill of 50 on the taxable property within the district for the repayment of its debt. It is also anticipated that the district will impose a mill levy of 15 mills for general operations and maintenance within the district. Based upon the information that has been provided by the development team and previously explained in this presentation, the build-out is anticipated to occur over the next 23 years with a mix of residential and a small amount of commercial development. As a result of that build-out over time and our financial modeling, we've determined that the district has the ability to issue upwards of $50.4 million. This is based upon the timely build-out of the project over time and based upon market values that we've projected well into the future. We believe, as I indicated previously, that this financial plan is reasonable based upon the information that is being provided to us, which is a mix of about 1,666 residential units at an average market value of $455,664, approximately 30,000 square feet of commercial property, with a total market value upon completion of about $6 million, for a total market value within the district of just over $765 million, which results in an assessed value of $56 million at full build-out at the end of the 23-year period. As indicated previously, the 23-year build-out will occur in multiple tranches, which will require multiple bond issues over time. The model that we've developed anticipates the district issuing approximately 10 bond issues to coincide with the development, totaling that $50.4 million. The following slide shows the 10 bond issuances that are anticipated within the district in more detail. Each of these bond issues will be dependent upon build-out within the district and market conditions at the time of issuance. Of the $50.4 million to be issued within the district, approximately $40.5 million will be available to finance infrastructure-related projects after capitalized interest, debt service reserve funds, and cost of issuance related to those bond issuances. This is all based upon the 1,600 units of residential development and 30,000 square feet of commercial development within the district, and the district imposing 50 mills for the repayment of this debt. For each of the issuances, we've anticipated an estimated interest rate of 5% with a debt service coverage ratio of 1.25 times. Again, this is all subject to market conditions at the time of issuance. For further detail, we would direct you to the appendix located within the service plan.
From all of us on the Redlands 360 team, we appreciate your time and thank you for your consideration of our consolidated service plan proposal for the Redlands 360 community.